industry thing because I'm a workaholic. I look at it like the fucking league. And when I look at it like that, I expect that if you're going to give a nigga credit for dropping a 30-point game, when another nigga drops a 30-point game, you're going to give him credit too. But when it comes to me, I don't get that. So today I was getting trolled. Yo, you know that? I was getting trolled all day today. Yo, did you hear about this? These dudes, the Stooges. I thought I buried them in a bunk bed casket. I never knew they were still alive. But they came back. It's on some mummy shit. Okay? These niggas supposedly won the Squid Games, and apparently they got some deal that is $10 million. Okay? And everybody's like, yo, what do you feel? Yo, you caught the L. And it's not about that. I really feel a way about people not calling fair. They move the goalposts every time when it comes to me. That's one of the things I can relate to 6ix9ine with a little bit. When he says, yo, Ak, it's not that whatever, I'm trying to play victim, but like the only way they put me in the game is if they put me in a position I can't win. There was a time, and I'll get to like this whole deal shit in a second, but there was a time they were like, yo, Ak, there was a chick on some fucking trash ass podcast was like, yo, Ak, you're mentioning these niggas because they're hot. I ended up dropping a podcast. Every numbers they've ever put up on the board, I have doubled or tripled. I've went so far beyond it. They were getting fucking standing ovations for what they did when I came out after them and did way more. Nobody said a fucking word. What Wack said? It's like the politicking. Nobody want to just be like, oh, okay. Just like how we gave them the credit, let's give you the credit. I looked at that and I'm like, that's interesting. So when I noticed that, I'm like, we're not playing on the same playing field because I love to compete. But when y'all tell me that y'all will applaud them for being here and I will get to hear and y'all will just almost act like it don't exist, this system ain't fair. So today people are telling me, oh, the Stooges signed $10 million deal, whatever the case is. First of all, you know, and obviously people are going to be like, yo, this is hate. This isn't hate. Again, I don't really know. I definitely don't know the details of their deal. But I'll just say this. And this is where I want to bring transparency to the podcasting world. Okay? So whether you look at me or look at anybody else and you want to figure out if niggas is capping or telling the truth, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I've been through this process. I've talked to all the major players. I'm with the biggest agents who've negotiated the biggest deals. Let me tell you this about podcasting. They're not throwing money like confetti. If you sign a deal over $10 million, you're going to be an exclusive podcast. You're not going to be everywhere. You're going to be exclusive. I know this. By the way, every company you're hearing, including the company that allegedly they were with, we talked to. I talked to. If they're going to give you 8 figures, you're not going to be everywhere. You're going to be exclusive. Depending on how much you want, depending on how much years you want to be there, they would also want a piece of the podcast. Now, again, it's negotiations. You could own everything. You could own the whole podcast. But you're not getting that money value that you claim you wanted. So if you think you're going to drop a podcast available everywhere, a podcast that supposedly you own the whole thing and somebody's just giving you $10 million, no fucking chance on earth. I know this is a fact. I went through negotiations for 6 months with everybody who was a major player. And by the way, the niggas who they allegedly got with ain't the biggest players in the game. I went with one of the 2 biggest players in the game. But of course, it'll be seen as hate. Because I even said to somebody today, I said, if I said some bullshit like this, niggas would kill me. Because when it comes to me, everything has to be backed up by facts. Because when shit sounds like bullshit, if it's with me, I got to go above and beyond to prove people that it's not. With other niggas, it's accepted just as hearsay becomes facts. So again, I really don't give two fucks about the Stooges. But I do give a fuck about the league. And when I say I give a fuck about the league, when niggas act like what them niggas have done, I didn't do times two. What their numbers were, I didn't do times two or three, actually. I do feel offended a little bit. And then when people think that, oh, no, you're jealous because they got... If I'm telling you what they've done, I've done times 2 or 3, what do you thought my shit was? And if I'm giving you the education on what the numbers and the actual league standings are, you tell me what it is. But I don't expect these other podcast niggas to really speak on it because, again, when it comes to me, I'll never get the credit. But when it comes to the other niggas who somehow have the favor of whoever else, people just let anything slide.